The Rams squad show is back. I'm Gavin Carlson, and man, we finally get to talk about that dominant performance on Sunday Night Football.
And what it do, squad? It's your boy Brock, and I had an amazing weekend hanging out with my guy AD while watching this year's MVP.
Whose house? Rams house. It's the Rams squad. Everything Los Angeles Rams every week. Breaking down all the big hits and game-changing plays from the City of Angels, the way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Here comes the Rampede. The Rams Squad Show starts now.
Yes, it does. Whose house? Rams house. Whose squad? It's the Mob Squad, baby. Rams Squad Show back here on the Locked On Podcast Network, Locked On Rams YouTube channel. We're live. I like changing it up. You know, we were doing normally the midweek shows not live, but it's been fun to bring these back live. So yeah, shout out to everybody in here on the Locked On Rams YouTube channel, watching it live or after the fact, both on the channel or wherever the heck you get the Locked On Rams audio podcast feed. Before we jump into this one, today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I'm here with the boy, Big Brock. Obviously, no DMAC today, but Big Brock, man, he was in the building in SoFi watching that beat down. You're back home. How's everything with you, sir?
Man, everything is well, man. Made it back home safely, so I can't complain about that. And, you know, had watched a dominant performance while also honoring my main man, Mr. Aaron Donald, first ballot Hall of Famer this weekend. So I truly enjoyed my weekend. Great reset, got away from the kids. So, man, I had a good time this weekend.
There you go. There you go. He's shining. You could tell he had a nice one. There you go. Well, yeah, obviously couldn't have gone any better on Sunday night. Right. And obviously we were not able to do it directly after the game, but we were not going to let down the Rams squad, the Ramily. So we got a reaction still to this game. And it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know the wild things that you and DMAC would have been saying if we went live directly after that game. You know, a couple days go by and you calm down a little bit and you actually have reasonable takes, but man, 2 days ago, if you heard the things I was saying at 9 p.m., I would have acted like the ring was already on our finger, man, because just an absolutely unbelievable, unreal, dominant performance from the Rams from start to finish, right? You go down, you score a touchdown right away. You get the unreal pick six. Matthew Stafford doing things he's basically never done in his career. 9 for 9 to start, 10 for 10 to start, 11 for 11 to start, right? No incompletions. The kicker was perfect. Like everything was perfect for the Rams on Sunday. And I got to ask you, of all the things you saw in that game, the offense, Stafford, Devontae, the fades, the pick six, multiple picks, the pass rush, like if you could only pick one thing that stood out the most from Sunday, what the heck would it be?
Man, just the dominant performance by the secondary of the Rams. You know, I see here Baker Mayfield only threw for 70 yards, or there was only 70 yards passing, or maybe 41 yards passing. That's crazy in this day and age of the NFL. And, you know, they're making it a passing league, and you only throw for 70 yards in total on offense. That is crazy. It just shows that this defense has been locking up, and then they've also been getting these turnovers, which, man, it just makes it so much better. I mean, when you get a defensive score, it makes the scoreboard look a lot worse than what it really should be, you know, because you're not expecting those points to come from the defense. But, I mean, look, you got 34-7. You know, who knows what it would have been if we would have got another score on defense or special teams. It always makes the score look a lot worse when you get offense or you get points from another source.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know you're not a PFF guy, so I don't want to upset you, but
yes,
they had. He said, "Yes, I am not," but they had Emanuel Forbes as the highest graded guy on the Rams on Sunday. They had Kobe Durant, I believe, as number 2, maybe number 3. Like you said, the secondary was just so dominant, and you know, at the beginning of the season, obviously, and I know the people in this comment section are going to say me more than anyone else, was maybe a little bit too critical, a little bit too, hey, you got to show me before I believe it. But even in the past few weeks where we have been winning pretty handily, the question was still the biggest question mark, the secondary. Like, hey, Forbes is playing a lot better. Kobe Durant's been playing solid, but still no Akello Witherspoon. Now you lose Quentin Lake. Feels like this secondary has to do a little bit more than other position groups in order for people to believe. Well, man, like you said, you can't ask for anything more than that. Baker Mayfield, like you said, 41 yards. And I know there's going to be some casuals who say, hey, he didn't play the whole second half. Like, was this really that dominant of a win? Like, let's not be mistaken. It was 31-7 at halftime. And Baker Mayfield was healthy for basically the whole first half. And it was 9 of 19 with 41 yards and 2 picks, right? Like, come on now, right? Like, he was absolutely shut down. And just, I felt like coming into the game, all three of us had big wins. This is, I think, the biggest win I predicted in terms of the margin of victory, because I just felt like we matched up so well against this version of the Bucs. Of course, they're without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin just coming back from a horrible injury. You didn't expect much from him, but you still have Emeka Egbuka, who at the beginning of the season was one of the best receivers in football. And so for him to only have 3 for 32 on 8 targets, for Tez Johnson to basically just have that 1 touchdown catch and do nothing else. And Chris Godwin in his return, just 2 catches for 9 yards. Like, the secondary was phenomenal. And it does help a lot when the only time it feels like Baker Mayfield had a clean pocket was when he got out of it, right? Like, he never was able to sit in there, be comfortable, and hit someone in stride. If he ever had time to throw, it's because he had to create it himself. Really, the only offense that the Bucs had outside of a couple big throws was when the pass rush was almost too good, and then you lose contain, right? I mean, that more than anybody about, hey, if the edge rushers, get a little bit too deep into the pocket and the quarterback's able to step up, if Big Brock isn't there in the middle to handle business, well, guess what? Baker Mayfield's going to scurry straight up the middle, and he did that a couple times. But outside of that, just absolutely dominant from the secondary. You absolutely love to see it. And I got to ask you, as you were there, as someone who normally says you don't like seeing the Rams go ahead early because you don't know how they're going to play. Man, how nice was it to in person see the Rams get ahead early, but just keep on going?
I think that was the most efficient I've seen the Rams while having a lead. It was a lot of running the ball. It was a lot of dink and dunks. And, the biggest thing is, that the Buccaneers were down and they still had 70 yards passing total.
Right,
Usually if you see a team that's down, they have more yards than the team that's ahead because they're passing the ball constantly. So what does that tell you? That the defense was strapping up. I mean, obviously, in the second half, you have a team that wants to try to win this game. They're throwing the ball all over the field. And so if the ball was thrown and caught, it was tackled immediately. If it was ran, it was tackled, no more than three or 4 yards, So I love the way the defense played on the back end, as far as the second half of the game. And then offensively, it's just very efficient, get the ball down, downfield. If you can't throw it deep, check it down, get it to your guys, run out the clock, run out as much clock as possible, and then if you don't got it, don't force it. Let your defense go out there and eat again. I think that formula throughout the game is what made the game 34-7. I mean, it was easy. It was simple. I felt like the guys knew the game plan. I don't know. I wasn't in the game, the meeting room with them, but it just seems like they knew what was coming. It seems like they knew what was going to come their way. When I say that, I'm talking about the communications on defense. Very simple. They were, everybody was locked in on what they needed to do, and they did their job. So for me, I love this. I think this is the most dominant performance. Obviously, we've had other victories, where we're, 30 point, over 20 points or something like that. But for me, I think this was a dominant performance because we went against a team that, can hold their own in this division or in the NFC in general. So for me, man, I think this is a dominant performance because you beat a team that nobody expected you to beat this way. You beat them, you beat them pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I love the way they played. Obviously, I don't like when they're up at halftime because I feel like we're in that limbo area of, do we score? Do we not score? Do we run out the clock? Do we not run out the clock? So I love the way they played. Dominant performance by the Rams. They just had the Bucs number, and other than that, man, we got to move on to the next one.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, from start to finish, like when you're throwing fades to Devontae at the one, and that's before it's 14-0, 21-0. That's like the first touchdown of the game. You're already kind of playing with them a little bit. Like everyone thinks the run's coming. Let's just throw that automatic fade in the corner to Devontae. Obviously, the pick six. At that point, you're up 14-0. You've already seen the offense drive down and get a touchdown. Now you're seeing the defense get involved. Got to give credit to the guy we're missing, DMAC. Like, he was spot on coming at the beginning of the season saying, I think it's going to be top 10 on both sides. Well, guess what? Offense and defense both look like top 10 units without a doubt. And when both are clicking the way they were yesterday, it's a little bit unfair, especially against a team like the Bucs, who, while quite talented, is banged up. We do have to say that. But, man, you talked about how prepared the Rams looked. It's almost unfair. No offense to Todd Bowles. I know there's some Bucs fans who might want him out or whatnot. I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he's a great defensive mind. I don't know if he's been the best head coach, but it just looked like two different worlds in terms of the preparation. Like one team just came in the Rams and just could not miss, right? When we're talking 11 of 11 to start the game, when we're talking, fades to Devontae and then no look throws to Colby Parkinson in the end zone, the run game doing its thing. Like Baker Mayfield doesn't have time, can't complete a pass. There's no run game, absolutely nothing, right? It was a masterclass by the entire Rams team, but man, Sean McVay versus Todd Bowles, it was unfair. And our roster versus the current state of their roster, unfair as well. So, like you said, from start to finish, it's what you want to see when you're playing against a team that you're healthier than. And when you're the Rams and you're at this point, and we'll talk about it after the break in terms of what this win does for the whole conversation around the Super Bowl and what happened with the Eagles this weekend as well. The Rams are the undisputed favorites to win the Super Bowl. They did it on national TV, while the other team on national TV, the Eagles, did not get it done. But man, when you can dominate like this and not even have to have nail biters with all the pressure that's now on our backs as the Super Bowl favorite, man, it makes it so much better. I mean, we've got people in here saying, he's in here saying, I low-key missed the cardiac Rams. 6 weeks of blowing out teams is a little boring. Like, that's what's happening with the Rams right now. Like, you're dominating teams to the level of we aren't used to it, right? We're used to being nervous if we're going to make a field goal, being nervous if we're going to convert a red zone trip into touchdowns. Well, it's just been automatic. And Sunday was really the culmination of that. You absolutely love to see it. We're going to take our break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this game. And then, man, I got to hear about this weekend and specifically this Sunday that Brock had with AD and the crew at SoFi, celebrating Aaron Donald, celebrating that Super Bowl. We'll do all that after our break here on this interesting, special Tuesday, but still post-game edition of the Locked On Rams Squad Show. We'll be right back. Today's show is brought to you once again by FanDuel. Look, we love the NFL. We love the NFL, but the NBA is back as well, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Let's get back to the show. Ram Squad Show is back. 2/3 of the Mob Squad, me and Big Brock, are here breaking down a couple days later this dominant win for the Rams. In case you somehow missed it, 34-7, the final score. Matthew Stafford, he completed just about everything in the first half, finishes 25 of 35, 273, and another 3 touchdowns. Big Brock said it in the intro. He has him as the MVP. I think everybody has him as the MVP at this point. And that's just what was so nice about this win, Brock, is with it being on Sunday Night Football, there's still a few people maybe that hadn't seen the Rams dominate in front of, a national audience. Sure, a lot of people tuned in for Rams Seahawks last week, of course, 2-7-2 teams at the time. And the Rams won that game. But again, there was a fraction of the NFL population that left that game saying, the Rams barely won despite Sam Darnold throwing 4 picks. The Seahawks were a field goal at the buzzer away from winning that game. And outside of that, there's been other dominant performances, but it was in London when people weren't awake on the West Coast, right? It was against the Titans when everyone expected it. It was against the Ravens in the second half without Lamar, right? This was a game against a good team on Sunday Night Football for everybody to watch, and the team got it done, and Matthew Stafford got it done. And so he's without a doubt the MVP favorite now, right? You talk about narratives being pushed in the NFL media. The narratives right now are Stafford's the MVP, the Rams are the best team in football. Emanuel Forbes, there's tweets about Emanuel Forbes right now looking like a first-round pick. Again, there's tweets about Davante Adams being back to, the best form he's ever been in since his Aaron Rodgers days. Like, all the narratives being pushed are about the Rams being amazing. It does make me a little bit nervous, but for now, we just got to bask in it and keep getting the job done. Tell me, Brock, watching Stafford in person, right? I haven't been able to do it this year. The way he's playing right now, watching it in person, like, is this the best Matthew Stafford we've ever seen? It might be, right?
Obviously his days in Detroit, obviously they didn't win a lot, but he put up some numbers. When you got Megatron, you can just throw it up to Megatron whenever you're in trouble. He actually did, pick up some numbers. But, I think it's the most efficient Matthew Stafford because he's so good, but he's doing it so nonchalant. It's not like it doesn't look hard. Does it look hard? Anything that he does it look hard for him? Like, no. It looks real easy. Everything is like, I know he's over there. I'm going to just no look, throw a pass over here. I'm going to throw a fade to Davante. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it looks so easy. And I just know that's years of just, playing the game of football, but also his continuity with McVay, knowing what's the right play to put them in, knowing the situation, understanding situational football, things of that nature. I think, obviously he's won a Super Bowl with this Rams organization. I just feel like now he's just fully let me find my words. He's fully he's reached his his final evolution, like in Pokemon. When you evolve, you keep evolving. I think he finally reached his final evolution with the Rams team, and it's just showing this year with this MVP performance. He's finding the right guys now. Him and Davante are catching that wind of, hey man, they're scoring. They're finding each other. Or Matthew Stafford is finding Davante. He's got Puka Nacua. He has a solid run game. I think they're just putting everything together, and they're not making it look hard. So for me, I think this is, I don't want to say the best Matthew Stafford. I think this is the most efficient Matthew Stafford we've ever seen, because he's doing what he's doing at such a high level, but he's making it look easy.
Yeah, he is making it look easy, and it does kind of feel like, Sean McVay will never admit this, Matthew Stafford will never admit this, but it does kind of feel like the Rams are trying to prove a little bit of a point right now. Like, when you are at the 1-yard line and continue to throw fades to Davante Adams, it's like, hey, we have a connection there. It's working. We have a red zone problem solved. We have a connection between Matthew Stafford and Davante Adams. When you see the no-look passes, like you were saying, when you see kind of, despite a game when you're up 31-7 early in this game, still 35 throws versus 19 rushes, right? Like, they're still pretty pass heavy. Again, it's, hey, we're pushing another narrative. Matthew Stafford's the MVP of the league, right? Like, we're not shying away from that. Like, he's the MVP. He's got 2 of the best receivers in football. Like, let's lean into this, right? It really does feel like that. I think it might be the best Stafford we've ever seen, because, like, the Detroit Lions Stafford, like, he's throwing the ball to Calvin Johnson, right? Like, of course he's putting up the stats, but at the end of the day, a quarterback is judged on the wins, right? And so for him to be doing both, where he's getting it done, yes, he has a great receiving core, but it's not a dominant Calvin Johnson that's jumping over 3 guys. It's, hey, a guy gets open, but Matthew Stafford still has to put it in the perfect spot, and he does. Oh, by the way, they're winning. Oh, by the way, he's doing it at this age. Like you said, it does feel like the final form of him, and you absolutely love to see it. We're going to bring in another guy who's big time on Matthew Stafford, the guy who, again, I gave credit earlier in the show. It's DMAC. I got to give him credit coming into this. Like we said, he had us as top 10 offense, top 10 defense, and he, I think, was the least concerned about Matthew Stafford. Actually, no, Brock did go on that famous rant saying, I ain't worried about Stafford and not getting reps, in the offseason. But DMAC was a lot less concerned than me, and he's looking smart right now because Stafford's playing amazing. The offense and defense are both playing amazing. DMAC is in the building, everybody. Just right off the bat, give me your thoughts on that win on Sunday night, man. Oh, I can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you right now.
Mute button.
We can't hear DMAC. I don't even think he could hear us because he's still talking. So we'll keep going without him for now. I'll let him get that sorted. I think someone said he's in Florida. Just I think he's got the polo on. Like
you see him? He's on the beach. He just got the background up.
I was about to say he might be on the beach. It might be like those memes during COVID where people were at work, right? And they got, like you're saying, they're on the beach. Like that's hilarious. But no, I know DMAC is hyped right now because he, like all of us, were hoping this was going to be a great year for the Rams, and Sunday was the biggest piece of evidence that it's going to be a huge year for our Rams. DMAC's giving me the thumbs up. He's giving me the thumbs up.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you right now.
Let's
DMAC.
go. No.
Let's go.
Be honest. Are you on the beach right now?
I'm on green screen, so it's kind of the best I can do unless you want my dad's bedroom behind me, which is it's like super messy. So no, but honestly, we saw Brock in the house looking clean, saw the fit, give it a 10 out of 10. Said what's up to AD for us, which was sick. I mean, it was just a great night. I mean, that was one of those performances that it almost felt like it was cupcake week in the SEC, where you just dominate a Citadel team. They could have hung 60 on them. I mean, offensively, defensively, Kobe Durant getting the pick six looking like Dre Bly in 2002 of Garrison Hurst. I mean, just the explosion from both sides, I think it was what really sticks out against a Bucs team that, they've been dealing with injuries. Baker Mayfield has been slumping of late. But that looked like a Rams team that knew they were on a big stage, that knew that maybe there were some doubters out there still that weren't ready to jump on the bandwagon that we've all been driving for most of this year. And they knew they were playing for the number 1 seed too. They knew they don't want to go to Philly to play the Eagles. They wanted at SoFi Stadium if it's going to go down. And it was just an impressive win. I mean, could have been a little bit of a trappish game. We know that Stafford 1-4 as a Ram on Sunday Night Football, haven't won on Sunday Night Football since they beat the Bears back in 2021. So look, I mean, I'm not going to break out the belt again. I probably would have if we did our show live on Sunday, but that was BTA, and it was against a good team. And I mean, I heard you guys talk about Matthew Stafford, and I totally agree with Brock and you, Gavin, that like, is this the best version of Stafford? Who knows if it's the best version of Stafford? I mean, here's the thing. The best version of Stafford would have been the Stafford in Detroit, but with Sean McVay in his absolute athletic prime. You know what I mean? And we were robbed of that Stafford. I wish we got that Stafford. But is he absolutely cooking, looking like a top 5 quarterback, looking like the MVP right now at age 37? And is he running away with the MVP? I think he absolutely is. I want to ask you guys this, though, because I'm looking at the haters out there. For me, it's like, I'm like, who's still hating? And I see people hating on the fact that Matthew Stafford has gotten all these 1-yard touchdowns to Devontae Adams, like they're inflating his statistics, or that he's not the most efficient when you look at the fact that Jordan Love, Drake May, and Sam Darnold and Mahomes are up on him for expected points added. I'm like, dude, 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, best record in the NFL. The moments that he's having, I mean, I think that there's just complete hater talk. I mean, do you guys think Drake May has a chance over Matthew Stafford? I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy.
Winning MVP?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no shot.
Yeah,
no shot.
Here's the postseason test. How about you ask Mike Vrabel this? Hey, Mike, you could have Matthew Stafford or Drake May in a championship game. Who would you pick out of those two? I'm pretty sure it'd be 100% Matthew Stafford, right?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. No, that's it. Just feels like people, reaching, right, trying to find a way to say it's not him, right? I get it. It's only, you're only 11 games into the year. Like, there's still time to be played, and so you have to act like it's a race, because it's still a race, right? Like, there's still a scenario where another guy comes out of the fold and starts playing better, but people are just saying that to try to make things interesting. Like, right now, he's the MVP. Like, let's not suddenly overcomplicate this thing. It's always been the best player on the best team, typically the quarterback. Like, if the best team in the NFL is undisputedly the Rams, and their quarterback is statistically the best quarterback in the league, and eyeball test a top 2-3 quarterback in the league, like, then what are we talking about, right? And there's not a Lamar or Josh Allen season that's happening right now where it's like, oh, they're also rushing for 800 yards and also winning every game, and also, and on that little fade comment, DMAC, that people are trying to push, like, keep the same energy when all these other teams are doing the little touch pass, right, where it's a jet sweep and it's so clearly a rush, because it left their hand for a millisecond, it's called a pass, and it goes for a 40-yard gain. Like, keep the same energy there, right? And no one does. Right. So that's ridiculous. But yeah,
or the tush push. Come on now, like, how many
those are 1-yard rushes
are we gonna see? Right.
Yeah, they don't call it out. They don't call it Josh Allen when he gets 6 touchdowns in the game against the Bucs, when 3 of them are rushing touchdowns and 1 or 2 of them are QB sneaks, right? So, amen. Also, DMAC, we got a question here. Why is DMAC coming in like Zordon from Power Rangers?
Oh, man. Okay, look, man, I got absolutely cooked at that one, bro. Go Power Rangers. All right, man, I got no response to that. Hey, man. Hey, Green Ranger. Hey, my favorite was the Yellow Ranger. I'm just going to say that right now.
That is fucking hilarious, bro.
Hey, bro, end the stream. Hey, press and record. I'm done.
Hey, I got to be honest too. I'm full transparency here. Maybe I'm going to age myself out. Maybe I'm just a casual. I didn't even know what the reference was. I just put it up there and said that first. I just Googled it, and now I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I didn't know that's what the reference was.
Oh my God.
I just was like, hey, let's see what they think. I Google it, and I'm like, oh wow, I see the image there. I'm like, that's crazy.
He was like their little leader, bro. He was like their leader.
Oh, now he's sharing a little too much here. That's crazy.
First crush, Pink Ranger.
Oh my God.
Talk about Tommy
man.
The Green Ranger.
Oh, I'm dead.
Billy the Blue Ranger. Okay, so what else? I think too.
That's like, how would he get this thing off?
No.
Maybe.
What were we talking about? The Rams.
We'll take the break, DMAC. We'll take the break. We'll let everyone catch their breath. And when we come back, we'll let DMAC break this one down a little bit more, and then we'll also ask Big Brock about the time with Aaron Donald. We'll do that after we take this break here. Let's catch our breath on the Locked On Rams Squad Show. We'll be right back.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends over there at Peloton. Look, folks, it's time to break through the busiest time of the year with a brand new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus that's powered by Peloton IQ. It's Peloton's most elevated technology and equipment yet that gives you real-time guidance, and it gives you endless ways to move, whether you want to work out by yourself or if you want to work out with your favorite instructor, like my personal favorite, Alex Toussaint. He always gets me fired up to tackle the day. And the thing I like about Peloton, it helps me achieve more in less times. They have features that help you plan, stay motivated, track your progress, and Peloton IQ also provides personalized workout plans and recommendations. That's something that I use right now during the busiest time of the year covering the NFL. They plan my workouts for me based on my mood, my vibe, and also my favorite instructors. So make sure you check it out and use it, because it also helps you correct your form in real time, and it maximizes your reps. It counts your reps so that you can do it smarter, safer, and more efficient. Let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
Back here on the Locked On Rams Squad Show. DMAC, give me more of your thoughts from this game.
I think the number one thing I'm taking away from this game, outside of the performance from the offense and just some of the creativity we saw with Sean McVay throughout, was it looks like the Rams have 2 legitimate cornerbacks. And we talked about some of the early season questions, and Matthew Stafford's back. I guarantee if we went back and watched those first couple episodes, the second or third question was who's going to step up in the secondary. And we all had a lot of faith in Nikella Witherspoon. They're going to get him back. They're going to open up that 21-day window on him. And Roger McCreary, they got some good news about his injury. It's not going to cost him a lot of time. But Emanuel Forbes hasn't just emerged to being serviceable, hasn't just emerged to being, oh, he's not going to hurt us. He's emerged to being Pro Bowl caliber for a guy they claimed off of waivers. I mean, it's unbelievable what this organization's able to do with guys that are castaways from other organizations. You can even throw Nate Landman in there too. I mean, no one saw what he was able to become. And I think a lot of credit goes to the organization, the development, but the number one goes to Emanuel Forbes, man. I mean, putting in the work, believing in himself. Confidence is a hell of a drug, right? And he's got confidence. And when you go out there and look at him, like the arms stick out, man. It's like I'm getting like Wemby vibes on those arms, dude. Like it's like the length there for a guy that size, the way that he's able to play the football, just getting targeted 7 times, not allowing a single reception, only guy to do that this season. I think he got a lot of confidence from how he matched up and performed against Jackson Smith and Jigba. And I think that that's just one of the big breakthroughs this season is you look at last year, could they stop the run consistently? The answer was no. They go out there and get Poona Ford. Early on this season, when the Eagles came back, everyone points out the 2-block field goals, and rightfully so. So improbable, so unlikely, but they still were able to come back because A.J. Brown was cooking Darius Williams a little bit, and they were taking advantage of the cornerbacks. Now I feel like we got a dude who can match up with ones on the other side. So that really excites me. And I just love to see guys like Emanuel Forbes, Commanders. Thank them. Thank you, Commanders. We love you for giving us Emanuel Forbes, and we're going to turn him to a Pro Bowler for you, a first-round pick. And he's a guy, my number one take from Forbes, too, is this is a guy that looks like a first-round pick, right? And he's certainly performing like one. So him and Kobe Durant balled out. So I'm feeling really good about the secondary. And you look at big picture, that's such a major, major development.
Yeah, I think corner is one of those positions where, like, when you say it looks like a first round pick, right? Like, it's the frame, it's the speed, it's everything, right? Like, kind of like receiver. You rarely see the 5'9" receiver get drafted in the first round because, you know, it's such a huge attribute that can't be taught, right? And from there, you try to mold the body and this, you know, the athletic ability into skill. Same thing with corner a little bit, right? And like you said, he has all the total package now that he's playing better fundamental football to where, like we were saying it before you got here, DMAC, you know, there's people on Twitter pushing narratives now of saying, like, you know, I brought up PFF. I know Brock doesn't like it, DMAC, but we were saying PFF said Emanuel Forbes was the best player on the Rams on Sunday, right? There's all these Twitter accounts suddenly saying, hey, Emanuel Forbes looks like the steal of the offseason along with Nate Landman. I know we haven't even gotten to talk about him getting his extension, but like the amount of diamonds in the rough that this Rams front office has found, in addition to the stars we have, it's getting a little unfair. DMAC saying it's the SEC versus Citadel. Man, I didn't think about that. It really did look like that on Sunday. I know Big Brock and LSU knows a thing or two about that.
Yeah, man. You can't take away a guy's confidence. You know, I think that's one of the major things I feel like I see from him comparing his career with the Commanders versus his career with the Rams. I just think he's playing with a ton of confidence. I think he believes that the coaching staff trusts him. I believe he also believes in himself. He has a rejuvenating type of energy of himself. Like he's almost, you know, like moving, you know, changing teams gave him a breath of new, you know, fresh air. Like he can be who he always was. Maybe the Commanders were holding him back in some kind of way. Like, because seeing the difference of him playing at the Commanders and the things that he allowed and now playing with the Rams, you know, and just seeing his confidence, you can't take that away, you know, just from this organization. Is like the guys love playing for the Rams. You know, the guys love playing for this organization. The guys love playing for this coaching staff. So when you got guys that are in love with, you know, the team that they're playing for, you're going to see them go the extra mile, give extra effort, do all the things that, you know, that they need to do to win because they love playing the game of football. They're not stressed. They're not held back in any way. So I feel like you got to pay attention to that as well when you're looking at, you know, other guys when they come to the Rams and they flourish. It's because I don't know. It's the environment in the Rams, the accountability that Sean McVay gives you, that he puts on everybody else in the organization. And it makes you just want to play for him, So for me, man, we can't take away from the culture that the Rams have built for themselves, the culture that they have, built for other teams. Like, let's be real. Like, if you want to be a head coach for the Rams for a little bit, coach for the Rams for 2 or 3 years, you can become a head coach. It seems like a trend, but think about how many head coaches the Rams organization have created that are now coaching for other teams, and and those teams are doing well for themselves in some kind of manner. So you can't take away from the culture that Sean McVay and his staff has brought to the Rams, and it makes guys want to play the game.
Yeah, and why doesn't it feel like, Brock, if he would have hit the press conference podium, it feels like the first 2 sentences would be like, "This is the most fun I'm playing football," and
Absolutely.
It feels like Devontae said that. Dude, you were with Aaron Rodgers in the prime, playing at Lambeau Field, and this is the most fun you've have had playing football. Nate Lamb in the same way. I'm feeling that Emanuel Forbes would say the same thing. And at the end of the day, it's always on the player to kind of perform, right? He's the guy that's out there. But the Rams, it just feels like give you all the tools to just optimize where you're at this stage of your career. And just the numbers prove it. I mean, 3 interceptions last 4 games, 5 pass breakups, had 1 on 4th and 2, 1 on 3rd and 9. Just absolutely shutting down the best receiver on the other team. It's a major weapon. I agree. I mean, there's something that's in that Rams. They got the sauce, man. They put something on these guys. It's like the 1995 Source Awards when Suge Knight's like, "Hey, everyone come to death row, right? Come to death row. You guys got to come to death row, right?" And Snoop Dogg and they're going at Bad Boy. It's like
right.
The Rams is like, it's like death row. Like you come here, we'll get you. You want to go 10 times platinum, bro? Like we'll get you up there. And I think that it's a major development, not just for how this team is playing this season and where this team could go, but look at the draft situation. You got the 11th pick in the draft. You've got, as of stands, it's going to get better because the Falcons are probably going to lose more games. You also got a late first round pick. Do you even need to draft a premier corner? Do you even need to draft a premier right tackle with the way that Warren McClendon's playing? Do you even need to draft a quarterback with the fact that it looks like Stafford could go multiple years? So I almost hate to feel this good about this team after week 12. Cause I'm already, my inner haters like, dude, they're peaking too early. You've only had like 6 MVPs that have gone on to win the Super Bowl. And there's just kind of those times, but I will say, Brock, your team that went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, you guys got up to a great start like this. And it feels like it carried through and you were able to take that momentum into a deep run. Are you guys concerned at all? And Brock, do you kind of see those similarities with this team in that, hey, we're not going to let just this regular season high kind of knock us off? We still are thinking big picture and getting back to the Super Bowl.
I think that's just how they take care of business at the Rams. It's a 1-week basis. Like, they don't look down the line towards the end of the season. Oh, we're going to get a first round bye or this and that. They take care of business a week by week basis, and they look at the end of the year and see where they are, and then they play the cards, how they were dealt, type of deal. So I see the Rams, taking that conservative effort to just focus on a week to week basis. But when you got guys that love to play this game, that love playing the game, especially in the NFL right now, especially when you come from college to playing in the NFL, you have 17 games plus more games after that. So maybe 20 some odd games that you're going to play in, and that's a grueling season. But when you have an organization where you enjoy playing, it doesn't feel like it's a pain to play this game, especially while you're winning as well. So for me, man, that's definitely tipped my hat to Sean McVay and his staff for just allowing the guys to be them, not making them robots, not having them, confide to some kind of system that they don't agree with. Hey, if you bring your best you to work, bring your best, you to game days. And if you perform, you can do whatever you want. You're not whatever you want, but if you perform it, we'll allow you to be yourself. We're not going to handicap you, whatever you feel like. You like to play, press bail or whatever, technique corners play. let's play that. And if it's conducive to our scheme, we'll allow you to play it. But if it's not, play it our way. It's gonna make the team better and things of that nature. So for me, man, internally, a lot of the guys love playing for the Rams, not just because they're winning, just because of the culture that Sean McVay and his staff has created.
Yeah, and it does feel like, too, DMAC said it a couple weeks ago. Brock was talking about this coaching tree. It does feel like Chris Shula is next. I know I was maybe hesitating a little bit, but, man, it truly does feel like with each week that goes by, somehow there's another thing with the defense that gets better each week, despite having a couple absences. Like, it's pretty freaking impressive. We're going to take a quick 5-second break, and when we come back, Brock's going to tell us finally about this Sunday he had with AD and company. Then we'll quickly give you our predictions for the Panthers game on Sunday. We'll do that after our break here on the Locked On Rams Squad Show. Back here live, doing another live edition of the Locked On Rams Squad Show. A little delayed post-game reaction after a dominant win on Sunday night against the Bucs. Again, if you somehow missed it, 34-7, BTA, as DMAC likes to say. Yeah, you missed a DMAC earlier in the show. A couple people were in the chat saying, no clinched butt cheeks for this one, man. No clinched butt cheeks for this one. It was money from start to finish. Now, let's hear it, Brock. Walk us through what your Sunday at SoFi was like, celebrating AD. Just a special day.
Walking in with the main man himself, man. Hey, and me and my guy have this joke, like, we know AD. We can go anywhere in the world and be good because we know AD. We can go in the SoFi, walking on the field. Me and my wife can do no wrong. Like, my wife was sitting on the bench. We're watching TV on the SoFi screen. Like, we could do no wrong because we're with AD. Obviously, they show me a little love. But when you're with AD, you can do no wrong. So, man, no, I fairly enjoyed this weekend. I think, obviously, with a legend himself, future Hall of Famer, a guy who won a championship in that building, he deserved everything, they showcased for him. They had a little tribute video to him. They showed him at the beginning of the game, obviously. And, man, it was just a pleasure just to be around some of my older teammates, get around each other. It was a great weekend. I enjoyed it. But, for me, it was also, man, the game, everything, the whole weekend in itself, the reset for me and my wife. We didn't bring the kids this weekend, so we were good. We slept till like 12 o'clock one day. So,
nice.
Hey, all good in the hood here, man. I fairly enjoyed my weekend.
I love
it was really cool to see Brock and AD and the gang out there representing. I was probably the only guy that we were just kind of, every time I was going to say AD and Brock, we first kind of like look at Brock and think, oh, that's our guy, Big Brock represent for us. And I was kind of thinking too, it was great to see you guys smile. Great to see you guys kind of looking like, all right, we have kind of taken that next chapter. But you kind of look around, you're probably thinking, you see Jared Verse and you kind of see Byron Young. You got to kind of look at each other and think, hey, like, we kind of built this. Like, we really set and established this culture. And this version of the Rams probably does not exist without the version that you guys were the biggest part of. Just coming back to LA when it was okay. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm a Raiders fan. Playing the Coliseum. It's going to take a while. And then you had so much success early on, and the defense was the backbone of that team for so many years. I mean, if I'm you guys, I'm watching this team smiling from ear to ear saying, hey, we walked so you guys could run, right? I mean, right. We were such a big part of that, being those guys who were able to do that. And it was cool to see AD smiling and just kind of feeling like, hey, I'm so content with where my future first ballot Hall of Fame career is at. Like, I think none of the Buccaneers players had anything to fear. Like, he wasn't going to strap on the helmet, strap on the jersey, or do anything like that. So the other thing too is it was great to see you guys out there rooting for the best team in the NFL. Like, that bobblehead was made a long time ago. That night was scheduled a long time ago. It would not have hit the same if you guys are watching a team in last place or anything like that. Yep. So I'm sure you guys had a lot of pride in watching that defense go out there. By the way, allowing around 17 points per game. It's the best in the NFL. So had to not only be a great night for AD, just kind of being proud to be a part of that defensive culture that's been built here. It must have been awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, the Rams have set themselves right behind the Cowboys when it comes to, teams in total revenue and things like that. So being a part of a team that, an organization that has that kind of value behind it, it just makes it even better, because you just know like where you start, where, especially I started in St. Louis and then end up moving to LA. So to know where I started from to where the team is now, it's phenomenal feeling. So you're absolutely right, DMAC, man. I felt good. I talked to your boy Travis. What was that? Saturday. I talked.
That's right. You're on his show, right? You're on
the show. Him and D4. So yeah, no, it's all good, man.
Yeah, no, he was talking about. He's like, yeah, we had your boy Brock on. You dropped the squad show rep, so that's why the number is going to go quadruple platinum after this.
On, man.
You gave us an extra
to the top of the list.
We appreciate that for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you'll be back too when they retire his jersey, when they have a statue. Hopefully one day. It's kind of wild to hear you say that though. That shock, St. Louis to LA. And then it comes full circle of you being in LA, looking up at SoFi and kind of thinking, man, like how far this franchise has come. I got to ask you, I mean, you guys were celebrities in the house. There's always celebrities there. I saw Mookie was there. Any celebs stand out that you saw there?
Man, I mean, not much, man. I seen Mookie was there. They showed him on the Jumbotron. That's the only way we were able to see it. But, Todd Gurley was there. Come on, man. Nobody. You can't forget about Todd Gurley now, man. He was there. So no, we had a lot of stars in the stadium on Sunday night.
They always show the celebs and they're like in their boxes, like when LeBron's in his box. Like it's a whole different vibe when like the celebs are at NFL games. They can kind of hide a little bit. It's not like the same as like, when LeBron can like spill, and like they sit in courtside running onto people. But no, it was awesome, man. Like yeah.
No, I was just saying the dope experience was they found me in the box with me and my wife sitting down, and I was looking up at the Jumbotron, and they had my name. I'm like,
oh yeah.
You know how you kind of move to make sure, like, is it following me? Like,
that's super awesome.
Everybody was like, oh. So, I got a little round of applause.
There you go. See, next time, DMAC, there you go, as you should. And next time, DMAC, we just got to get him a little shirt that says Locked On Rams when he's on the Jumbotron, just there posing. Walking billboard.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Well, we're going to wrap this one up because we got to wrap it up, unfortunately. But I want to quickly hear, we'll see, TBD on if there's going to be another show before the Panthers game. Obviously, it's Thanksgiving and stuff, so we'll see. But real quick, just want to get your predictions before we bounce. Rams favored by 10.5. Just rapid fire. Do the Rams win? I think we're all going to say yes to that. By how much? Is it a letdown spot or do they dominate? We'll go with Brock first.
They dominate. I'm going to go something along the lines of 31-10. And watch they play a close game, and I'm be pissed. But 31-10 is my prediction this weekend, dominating the Panthers.
Wow. I mean, that's the nice thing about doing this show a little bit late is we were able to see what the Panthers did on Monday, and obviously they didn't show us much. DMAC, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, being at home, I think you feel better about that. But I think also when you look at just the mistakes that team makes, it was a weird game last night up in San Francisco. The defense causing turnovers the way they did, I mean, that was pretty impressive. But I mean, there's no reason why the Rams shouldn't roll up in this one, drop 30 plus and hold them to under 20 points, like Brock said. So I'm somewhere along those lines. Who knows? It's the NFL. When you expect something, the opposite feels like it does happen. And I could see something getting weird. Just you're coming off a Sunday Night Football win. Everything's going your way. It's the National Football League. Maybe it's the Harrison Mevis game, the walk-off kick that we were hoping to get against the Eagles. I'm going to go ahead and just hope that hey, at the very least, you just got to get a dub. You got 4 losing teams down the stretch. You got to put money in the bank and continue to do that. So I still got them win against the Panthers for sure.
What's the score? You got to give me that score prediction.
Man, I'll go, man. You know what? I think Matthew Stafford gets pissed because all these haters still saying he should win MVP. So you see a really good performance from him. I'm going to go 35-14, something like that.
Wow. So massive wins for both of you guys. I mean, obviously.
What's your pick? You got the Panthers winning? I know it.
Heck no. I do not have the Panthers winning. The one thing I will say, though, is the Panthers, they're one of those teams that they just find a way to make every game disgusting. Like just like horrible football to watch. Like they just find a way, especially at home. Like I don't know what the weather is going to be like there, but like that game on yesterday was absolutely abysmal. Bryce Young was the best quarterback in the first half, and he had 28 points. Like that's how disgusting that game was, right? I do think the Panthers defense is a little bit underrated. You know, obviously they were able to make things hard on Brock Purdy. I'm going to go for what's crazy that this is modest, but I'm going to say a modest 24-10. I think the Rams still win by double digits.
That seems more likely. I like that.
Yeah,
score.
but I think it's going to be a little bit of a low-scoring one. Maybe the Rams, you know, they didn't feel the need to take I guess they did take their foot off the gas a little bit after the 31-7 first half on Sunday. Maybe they do the same. They're up 24-7 going to the fourth or something, and they just say, hey, let's run the ball. Let's keep everyone healthy, and let's get another dub. Let's get ready for next week. But hopefully we're all right. If we don't see you guys before Sunday, we will see you Sunday. We'll go back to doing the live post-game shows, of course. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. If we do see you one more time before then, we'll see you. But otherwise, Who's House? Rams House, Who Squad, Locked on Rams Squad, the Mob Squad back, and we'll see you certainly. Yeah, happy holidays. We'll certainly see you back here on Sunday. Take care and go Rams, baby. Let's go win a Super Bowl.
Go Rams.